The White House press secretary, she's extremely young. She has been a surprise pick by Donald Trump, and she made her debut with quite a startling announcement. Were American taxpayers funding condoms in Gaza, and that too to the tune of $50 million? Yes, you heard that right. That was the claim made by the American government itself. White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt dropped this bombshell that the Department of Government Efficiency, which is better known as DOGE now, and it's headed by Elon Musk, this DOGE discovered a preposterous waste of taxpayers' money and blocked it just in time. Then, President Trump also patted his back about the move, about how they had stopped millions of dollars going into Gaza for condoms. Mind you, this recall is part of the decision to freeze foreign aid, grants, loans, and federal assistance programs that has thrown America into a tizzy.
DOGE and OMB also found that there was about to be 50 million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza. That is a preposterous waste of taxpayer money. So that's what this pause is focused on, being good stewards of tax dollars.
Restating right now to correct any confusion that the media has purposely and somehow for whatever reason created Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid have not been affected by any action we're taking in any way, shape, or form. We are merely looking at parts of the big bureaucracy where there has been tremendous waste and fraud and abuse. In that process, we identified and stopped $50 million being sent to Gaza to buy condoms for Hamas. 50 million. And you know what's happened to them? They've used them as a method of making bombs. How about that? We stopped an attempt to make an illicit payment for illegal alien resettlement.
Now, this claim and what you heard Trump say has a rather interesting backstory. Condoms in Gaza have been part of a heated debate in the past and for completely different reasons than you would imagine. In 2020, the Jerusalem Post reported that scores of condoms were being used to create IED-carrying balloons. These would then be flown into southern Israel, raising an alarm on schoolyards, farmlands, and even highways. The Jerusalem Post also said that these condom bombs, as it were, burned thousands of hectares of land and caused damage worth millions of shekels. Given this incendiary history of condoms in Gaza, you can imagine the shock and awe that the White House's revelation has created. Also remember that there are roughly 2.1 million residents in Gaza. If there are $50 million worth of condoms being sent for them, then that translates into roughly $23 worth of condoms for every single human being in Gaza. I mean, I don't know about you, but it seems a little difficult to digest. Nonetheless, just to be sure about what was claimed, listen in again to what the White House press secretary said.
DOGE and OMB also found that there was about to be 50 million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza. That is a preposterous waste of taxpayer money. So that's what this pause is focused on, being good stewards of tax dollars.
Okay, so the White House is quite clear that they nipped in the bud an attempt to push off millions of American dollars to give condoms to Gazans. Hardly surprising, though, that the truth is slightly different. A Trump administration official has now told The Independent that they haven't really stopped $50 million worth of condoms. What they have stopped for now is two separate buckets of foreign aid of $50 million each that was meant to help the International Medical Corps provide medical services in general. Separately, there is also the inconvenient data from a USAID report from September 2024 that says not $1 from the $60.8 million used by the agency to fund contraceptives and condoms worldwide is allocated to Palestine. In fact, it turns out that the only contraceptives sent into the Middle East were actually to the Jordanian government. And that too was in the form of about $45,000 worth of oral and injectable medications. Just to set the record straight, the United States of America does send millions in taxpayers' dollars in condoms across the world. Condoms are bought, contraceptives are bought, and the US taxpayer gives that money via USAID. And this has been happening since the mid-1960s. It's all a part of the US aid program to send commodities for family planning and reproductive health across the globe. But it is Trump's Gaza angle, the Hamas angle, that condoms are being shipped for Hamas, that's entirely off the mark. A 2023 report of US aid shows that $60.8 million were used, and they were used for contraceptives and condoms globally. Of this, a lion's share, almost 80%, went to Africa, not to Gaza, not even to the Middle East. The largest chunk went to Africa, then to Asia, and then to Latin America and the Caribbean. As for the Middle East, like I said, only $45,000 worth went to the government of Jordan. Now, if that is the big spot and save done by Doge, then good luck and good job.